Hey.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Country and Hard Rock Show. And you know why it's country first? I've been telling you this over and over again. You find the hard rocks in the country. You know what else you find in the country? This right here. This right here.
Yep.
These are pretty cool. These
No,
are
they're
pretty cool.
cockaburs.
They're burdocks.
Cockaburs.
Okay, I don't know if you've got some phlegm in your
chameleon
throat.
here, your dude got
that's-
tangled up in his hat.
That's quick draw.
Quick draw.
That's quick draw.
Quick draw doesn't creep me out as much as Theodore.
Quick draw?
Yeah, I like quick draw. Theodore just looks like the son of Satan.
Okay, Theodore is a cool little squirrel, and I like him. Don't pick on him, he's got feelings.
He's a concrete statue, sir.
So I got in trouble with my burdocks. Not as much trouble as if I would have taken these home and the dog would have gotten into them. Can you imagine what trouble I'd get in if the dog got into these? And
The poor dog would
And-
probably die.
what about me when my wife found me?
It'd be like naked.
Whew. Yeah, I'd be in a
I
lot
can
of
tell you
trouble.
one thing. You don't want to have them things touch nothing.
No.
Zero.
No. I took
If you get a splinter, by the way, on your side, I'm sorry.
I took the dog out after he had just gotten
I
bathed.
apologize, and he picks up
And-
a machete.
And he had just got bathed and his hair got cut. Now I have a really, really awesome dog, y'all. And he had just gotten bathed and I took him outside and I wasn't paying attention. He rolled around in the dirt and then I brought him back inside. My wife loves me, but just sometimes she might not
Tolerate you?
like me to such an extent that she loves me.
Okay.
So,
Did you give me a new glass? There's a new quart jar there.
new glass.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's got a
You
bubble
made
in it.
fun of my Bubba keg, so I had to
I did make fun of you because your Bubba keg was falling apart. It'd like fallen off the truck too many times. Are you gonna share that?
No.
You gonna share that? Like they pass the mason jar around?
No. I'm protecting.
Folks, he is really paranoid about his
Flexed
teeth.
up. Watch out.
And folks, I gotta clarify this. He couldn't even make his own tea this morning. I had to make his tea for
My
him.
eyes were watering from all the smoke from the 30 pounds of bacon we cooked.
Well, that is true too. But
You like had the whole kitchen on fire.
that was not me in there cooking. That was you.
You were supposed to be supervising.
No, I was getting my.
No. My job was sausage patties.
I was picking my flowers here. I was picking flowers.
They're unloved flowers.
They
You
they're
flip one of them on me, son, you are going to regret it. I'm serious.
Woo.
You're playing with death. I
All
might
right,
be
so
in a
folks-
church, but
folks,
you're going to get hurt.
We got burdocks here, and there's a really cool story
Can you
about
explain
burdocks.
burdocks though? what they are?
Burdocks.
Not every city slicker from upstate New York understands that.
Okay,
Like you.
so burdocks here are really, really cool. This is
Hold them
where
up for the camera.
This
Come
is
on.
where they got the idea for Velcro. Because burdocks are shaped just like Velcro and they're stuck together like you can't even pull them apart because they intertwine each other.
Is that like marriage?
Ooh, boy, that's a great example. Marriage. This is how marriage should be. You should be stuck together like Velcro or like burdock. Wow, it's sticking to
My
my
wife
finger.
would kill me if I was that's close to her.
I'm going to have to use this in marriage counseling. This would be a really good example. And so
Especially
you
if
get
you-
these out in the field.
What happens if you eat one of them? Would it stick to your guts? I mean, gravy sticks to your guts. I mean, does burdocks? No, thank you. I'm full
See,
of
folks,
bacon.
he offers, but then he falls flat short. So that's burdock. So this morning I went up to his pasture and got some burdocks, and I cut him out of his pasture with this machete.
You quit playing with that. You're scaring me.
And I cut it out of
Do you
his
even
pasture.
properly know how to operate that? Probably not. Have you been to OSHA approved training for that, sir? See, you're speechless again. There you go.
I got nothing for even that. But I went up
You
and
got burdocks on your Bible. Oh, way to
cut
go.
some burdocks. Well, we're making a mess here. And
We?
I brought them down.
Whoa. We?
You're
Who
with me.
packed in a whole bunch of these? to
You're
church?
with me. Folks, this is nothing compared to how many I brought in here at church. But
Yeah, that's not an exaggeration. You'd think they were like delicate roses as many as you packed in.
Yeah.
But here's the scary part about them little creatures. They're like spawn. Every one of those pods is a new burdock. There's got to be hundreds on there, if not 1,000.
You should have seen your pasture. They were all over. I just got.
And you know what?
just
We didn't have
small
them a
little
year
patch.
ago. They come in that fast.
They do. It's amazing how sin in our lives can creep in this fast and grow.
Yep.
Destructive habits can grow. You know, they say it only takes 1 or 2 days to develop a bad habit. But they say it takes at least 30 to 60 days to train your body to get rid of that
I
habit.
disagree with that.
Really?
I think the first time you acknowledge that I'm going to do this again, on that first moment of that first bad decision,
You think that that's when it gives birth?
Yep.
The Bible says that when a desire gives birth to, or when a desire is fulfilled, it gives birth to sin. So yeah, that makes sense.
I almost know what I'm talking about some days.
Some days you do. Some days you do. You might actually have a
Would
point.
you put that up?
You know, for a
Okay,
big
so
guy,
disclaimer,
for
kids,
a big guy,
He is not a trained professional, and do not imitate, mimic, or good night. Do not do as he does.
for a big guy
he's a-
like you,
I am fluffy.
you're really scared of little things.
I've seen little things turn into bad things so fast.
Down in Haiti, we were down there on a mission trip, and he said,
You didn't take that to Haiti.
And the guy had one like this down there. And he said, "You want coconut?"
I bet it didn't have
said,
a plastic handle like yours.
And he went whack, and he chopped the end of that coconut off, and he gave it to you, and you drank the milk out of there. It was awesome. But he would hold on to the coconut, and he would slice right down past his fingers.
I prefer tea.
And listen, buddy, when you were down there, you didn't have options. You didn't have choices when that cockroach is crawling up your leg and pulling your leg hairs off because the cockroach is that big. You don't have choices over being around bugs.
You know, they make
when you
sealed individual packets of tea.
When you go down to the
I have
bathroom
pockets.
and there is a tarantula that is bigger than your Bible sitting next to the toilet, you realize you don't have to go anymore. Do you know that?
The toilet would be gone.
It was a little bit terrifying.
Yeah.
When you see movies and they got little tarantulas that are crawling all over you, those are nothing.
Just touched me.
Those are nothing. When you're down there and the tarantula is bigger than your size 11 shoe,
I
that
wish
is
I had a size 11 shoe.
when you actually
I
have
can
to
go buy
jump-
shoes finally.
When you actually have to jump up on that foot to squish it because it's that sturdy of legs on that tarantula. I mean, you think you're in a terror movie.
I don't think I
But-
have that problem.
So we're down there.
My
I
size
was down there and
14 quadruple E's would take care of that with my bountiful girth.
fluffy girth, yeah. So I was up in your pasture and I was chopping some of these weeds out of your pasture. And the Bible says that, there's weeds that grow up among the wheat. And Jesus tells that parable of cutting out the weeds, and that's a weed.
No, that's an unloved flower.
That is true. It is an unloved flower. I love it.
Maybe hated.
But
why?
the-
What is the beauty in that? It looks like death warmed over.
It kind of does.
I can't. You know what?
But
If you
the
notice,
thing
I've
is-
been like entranced to look. I'm
The
like,
thing is
it's just so creepy.
God created everything perfectly. You know that? Back in creation, God created everything perfectly.
He must have made them just for you then.
And the flowers on here are absolutely, undeniably beautiful flowers.
Purple.
Purple.
Lilac.
Oh man,
Let's go
pinkish
with
color.
lilac.
They're just beautiful. And God created these that, do you know how fast they reproduce? It's like faster than cats or bunnies. And
I will not disagree with
they
that.
can reproduce so fast, but nobody has to do anything. God created creation to reproduce like this without us having to do anything, without any machines. God created these heads to be able to produce seeds that when the wind blows, it goes poof,
Do that again.
poof.
Okay.
Um,
That was our redneck repeat right there.
I don't even know what that is.
Just keep going.
Redneck reapy.
Squirrel.
And it's just really cool how
Squirrel.
God did that. And then as a farmer, you got to go in because they're an invasive species, and you got to go in with the machete
Put
and go,
that thing down.
"Yeah!" And you got to go, "Yeah!" and cut the other half of it and get it out of
I
there.
hope my insurance agent's not watching.
Your life insurance
My
or
insurance
property
agent.
insurance?
Maybe all of the above.
You are so far from the risk of losing bodily harm
That I've moved back.
that you're fine. You're fine. So that's what we used to have to do, is go cut those out of the
You're not supposed to
fields
cut
and
them out
stuff.
because you shake the pods out on the ground, ding-a-ling. You're supposed to shovel them up. Scoop them up. You shovel them up. You dig them.
But it's like a
But when you
dandelion.
sitting there whacking on them with the machete,
It was only one whack. You want me to show you how fast I
and
whack
you're
that
shaking
thing?
the pods,
I go,
all, whoa, hey, good night. You're not Cy Robertson. Golly.
It's
I trust
when you
Cy before I
shake
trust
these-
you.
When you shake, he's crazy.
Oh, he's a God-fearing, tea-drinking machine,
He is,
buddy.
but so am I. So that's okay. So
You don't drink tea.
um,
You drink that girly stuff.
shaking these things is like shaking the dandelions in your yard, and you watch all the poof go poof everywhere. It's really fun. Then you realize you just planted like 400 more dandelions. You know that?
I just ask you to smell it, and when you're smelling it, I'd shove it in your mouth.
Oh man, I grew up having to eat dandelions.
Hey, now I tell you what,
And they
you
were
take
terrible.
The good, fresh part of a yellow dandelion, put some buttermilk on that, some Ritz crackers, fry that up in some bacon grease. That tastes like a morel mushroom.
You used to put sprinkles on a fresh dog poop.
That's not the
It
same.
ain't gonna taste like chocolate ice cream.
It's not going to taste the same.
Nope, it's not. And I ain't
Them
eating
dandelions
that.
taste pretty
I
good.
ain't eating the dandelions. No
Oh,
sirree,
you-
Bob, at all.
That's right, you're from New York.
I ate enough of them growing up. I ain't eating them anymore. But I will eat raccoon. Good raccoon done up properly is better than prime rib.
You're sick.
Nope, I am dead serious. I am dead serious.
You have had bad prime rib. Then.
Okay, so we need to talk about this week's driving escapades. This week's been kind of exciting.
Not for me.
Has anything exciting happened for you this week?
No, I'm perfect.
My poor wife has had a rough week. If she had a pacemaker,
What did you do now?
it would have shorted out. Well, see,
That or at least the batteries would be dead already.
we went to we had a busy morning one morning, Wednesday, and we had to go to the bank and the post office afterwards. So I drove. We were driving together
what?
romantically.
I heard something about the post office and almost wrecked.
So we go over to the post office, and I'm going to run in and get the mail. So we pull up to the post office.
ran? You physically
no,
exerted
we're
a lot of energy.
driving our really nice van that I got her from the junkyard. And
Okay.
so we're driving the van, and I pull up to the post office, and I fling open my door, and I jump out, and I start walking around the front of the car. But the thing is it was like a slow motion movie. As I'm trying to walk around the front of the car kept on getting further ahead of me.
Did you forget again to put it in park?
And I forgot to put it in park. And my wife is sitting there in the passenger seat, and she just passes me on by. I mean, it just passed me on by. It's like life just passing you on by. And
I might have attention
and-
deficit, but that's not something I forget.
so it gets better. So as she's diving from the passenger seat over to hit the brake pedal and to shove it in park, before she runs in because I wasn't in the vehicle. Technically, I couldn't get in trouble for that because I wasn't technically in control of the vehicle. So
It's a lot of technicals there.
So
Are you technically sure that's the technical term? For
she
the technical
finally gets
way?
it in gear, and I finally run up to the door, and I look in, and she wasn't happy. And so she promptly is very, very quiet, very speechless.
My eyes had extra moisture there.
Very speechless as she gets out very slowly. Very slowly. I mean, she is not fast in any of this. Walks around the vehicle.
St. Heidi, if you'd have just came to work extra that day, that wouldn't have happened.
And so she walks around the
The
vehicle.
events of extra entertainment would have
And-
cycled past.
for one of the few times in my life, I kind of held my head down and I got in the driver's seat and I said, I'll sit right here and wait for you, honey. And she was very quiet and she never even said anything. She went in, got the mail and came back out, and I was very quiet and went to the bank, but I stayed in the vehicle and I put it in a park and very calmly. So that was Wednesday. And then Thursday, the next day,
You're kidding me. Thursday comes after Wednesday.
so we go down to the big metropolis of Quincy, and we're coming back.
Who?
And Metropolis.
Was
of
Superman
Quincy.
there?
No.
I've been to Metropolis,
And-
Illinois.
We are.
It's not big.
No, it's not. I've been through that too. So we're about a mile away from home, y'all, and we're in the left-hand
That's
lane.
right down yonder.
Left-hand lane of the four
By the
lane.
big oak tree you turn at.
And I told my wife something. I said, you know, I am actually a really good driver. When I put 100% of my attention.
Sleeping.
When I put 100% of my attention. The problem is getting me to give 100% of my attention most of the time on anything is a difficult time when you have ADD.
Yep.
So we're driving and we're talking,
Isn't that
because that's
right?
what husband and wives do, is we're talking. That's the only way she can keep me awake. And so I'm driving and we're talking and we're going about 75, 80 miles an hour on the highway.
Can't
Just
say that.
cruising down.
You're just driving. You don't need to talk about numbers. Kids do not perform this
And we're just driving in the left-hand lane, and all of a sudden,
in the left-hand lane.
in the left-hand lane.
Why ain't in the right-hand lane?
I like hanging in the left-hand lane. I don't know why. So all of a sudden,
You're one of those people that never get out of the left-hand lane, aren't you? Do you just stay there?
sometimes. So all of a sudden, this raccoon came out of nowhere. It was dark out, about 10 o'clock at night, came out from nowhere.
Well, he heard this guy east of where you're driving was probably looking for him for dinner.
Woo-wee.
So did you smoke the raccoon on your Barbie?
I let out a little bit of a squeal. My wife
A little?
You're kind of died.
Uh-huh.
Because I think we hit that thing. I think it flew
Did
up
you
from
go
behind
airborne?
the vehicle, and I think it flopped down in front of the vehicle, and we ran over it a second time. And she didn't start breathing for at least 45 seconds down the road. I mean, she was white in the face. I mean, she was gasping for breath after about 45 seconds.
I'm gonna have to put a memo out to my employees
And
that you cannot ride with Shelby Whitney. It might cause you to miss work.
I told you, I'm a really good driver if I pay 100% of my attention.
So in
And-
2 epic days, you had 2 epic decisions of bad.
My wife's heart is in good shape. She does not need to go and get a stress test like you do. She does not need a blood pressure check. She does not need a stress test. Her ticker is just a ticking just fine.
Don't wear it out too soon, then.
Oh my word. Poor
Don't
little
shave
lady.
minutes off her life in hours and days.
Man, that poor little lady. She puts
Poor
up with
Saint Heidi.
she puts up with me a lot. You know that?
I still think you tricked her into marrying you.
I did not trick her into marrying me.
You did.
I did not trick her into marrying me.
Okay. Are you done playing over here? What are you doing? Eating candy now.
They had some dirt on
Good.
that cough drop.
Good night.
I don't know if it was clean dirt or bad dirt.
There might have been goat poop off that when you picked it up.
That's all right. That's all right.
A little
So
extra protein and stuff.
a little bit. So that was my exciting week. Did you have anything exciting happen to you? Oh no! I didn't even finish the week. All right. So we're I go and pick up.
They don't have to hear you across the world talking
So,
this loud.
I go and pick
My
up
ear
this-
is ringing. Golly.
So I go and pick up my car at the mechanic shop, and it's at the mechanic shop, and they got it
A
fixed.
mechanic will work for you.
So
I gotta. You gotta tell me later on who it is. 'Cause
You
anybody
really-
that would work for you, it'd be difficult.
you really. There's some truth there. You really got to
Truth?
imagine the vehicles I take to the mechanic shop, what shape they're in.
You bought them off their back lot, you know.
So-
that's a parts car.
So I go from the mechanic shop to the other shop in town that does inspections.
Mm-hmm.
I get halfway there and it dies.
I hear that.
And so
On the side of the road.
I get it to start again. I get it almost to the mechanic shop. It dies again. But I'm able to coast into his parking lot. This is the inspection shop. This is not the shop I'm going to have work on it. This is the inspection shop. Coast into the parking lot right in front of the
Can
door.
you scoot over? You're creeping me out. No, the other way, son.
All right, so
You're the one that wants props. Hey,
it stalls in front of the garage door. And he is standing there because to get it inspected in Missouri, you have to get it inside the shop. They have to inspect it inside the shop. So I'm sitting there for about 5 minutes. I got the hood up on the car. I got the hood up on the car in the bay as he's standing there at the doorway waiting for me to pull it in. I got the hood up. I'm messing with stuff. I'm in there cranking it. Then it started up, but I couldn't get it in gear before it died. And finally, I got it to start up and gunned it into the shop, and it died right there. But he inspected it and it passed with flying colors. And then we pushed it back out of there and I sit there messing with it in the parking lot to get it to start so I can get it over to the registration office to register it. And then I tried to drive it home and that was a mistake. I got it out of town.
so what was wrong with it?
I'm still working that out. So I got it out of town, it died alongside the road, so I had to go get a trailer and drive it home. But I got it registered, I got it insured, and I got it inspected. And I picked it up at the mechanic shop.
Don't run.
Well, it's kind of like you and I can fly, just depends on how big of a trebuchet we're sitting in when it flings us.
Why you gotta use these words I can't understand? That's your line. I've been really elegantly walking around big words. Not to offend you.
Because it
and you're
offends
talking
you.
about something I can't even comprehend what it is, and it sounds
A
French.
trebuchet.
It sounds French.
All right.
Y'all, is that French?
To give you a better...
Would you put that thing up? Good night!
Here, to give you a better illustration, a trebuchet... Hey, give that back.
Hey, you about to cut my finger off.
A trebuchet is... Do you remember in school when you used to fling
No.
food
No,
across
I
the
didn't.
cafeteria at the cute girl that you liked?
No, I
Well, that's
I had a father that gives spankings.
That's
after the principal give you one.
That's a
You learn not to do stupid stuff.
miniature version of a
You're gonna get cut.
trebuchet.
Kids, do not do this crap at home.
That
Okay.
was a homemade trebuchet. You bend that
Put
down,
the stupid thing out.
and you can fling stuff, but it's like a catapult. That would be another word for it.
Trinette. Next time you cannot leave, and the shepherd's hook you had laying on the table, you need to use it. Please.
But that's what that is. Did I give you a proper definition? Do you understand?
My blood pressure might be high. My pills are over there. Nope, I'm good. They're right there. I got them.
Maybe you should take them.
I'm good. I'm covered.
Okay, now I can do it again to show.
No!
Hey, let me try that.
No! Good night!
Dennis Jimenez. Remember when he's trying to shoot those pills down Uncle Wilson's throat? You sit over there, open your mouth, and I will shoot those pills, and you can catch them.
How do you come up with this crap? I don't know if I've ever said no so much in all my life as I have this morning. Everything's been no. And you're like laughing at the tear. He's jerked a tear over here. Boy, I'm not kidding you, Trinette. Next time you cannot leave. You're gonna have to stand there with that shepherd's hook.
Do you know?
And plow him into those cactuses.
Do you know the kids I grew up with?
Your breath stinks like nasty. What is that?
That's a cough drop. It's a cherry flavored cough drop.
I'm getting menthol release over here.
Do you want me to move over here a little bit more? You might need to take your heart medication. Do you know the kids I grew up with? I was the mild shy one. All right.
Put all my stuff in one spot so you can't smash it or break it.
You got your phone
Quit
case.
wailing
there.
around.
You got your phone
You
case.
break that phone case, boy, son, we're gonna have some trouble.
I have
I
never
will
seen.
take that machete
I
and chop
have
your
never
phone out.
seen somebody have so much anxiety first thing in the morning. Whoo-wee.
Yeah, I got up and hung out with you at 6 something in the morning.
You need some more coffee in the morning.
No, I've had 2 of these already. Well, 1.5. I'm working on. That's my second one today. Got to keep the toxins flushed out.
It does not keep you up to speed with me. I've only had 3 cups of coffee so far.
That's a pretty good sized cup over there, sir.
Yes.
That's
still only counts as
that's
one.
extra jumbo
Yes.
size.
Maybe. So.
Is that like a 24 ouncer? Or is that
No, that's a 20 ouncer.
Nah, it looks bigger now.
It may be a 24.
Okay.
Well, Hard Rock,
What?
we don't need to waste anybody else's
I didn't even need to tell one story.
time.
You've sucked up all the fun in this.
I've sucked up all the fun.
Fun sucker.
No, I offered to share, allow you to share. Who put this thing so close? I offered to allow
was
you to
closer.
share your
You know,
driving stories
it
this
was
week.
touching your chair.
But you didn't want to share any of your driving stories this week.
They're normal.
What a boring life.
No, that's how life is.
No. Have you ever traveled with me?
Yeah, I don't do it anymore.
It's just part of
Especially
life.
halfway through the trip, and I realized I'd forgotten my blood pressure pills. Had no aspirin on me.
Was that
When I got back to the house, I literally went into my duffel bag, took 3 baby aspirins out, and chewed them up in my mouth, and didn't even get a glass of water because I needed them that bad. That's a fact, Jack.
You're making these stories up.
No, I ran down to that basement when we were down there at that place. I ran down there, got in that bag, and ripped that bottle of baby aspirin out, and I chewed 3 of them things up. And then I realized I didn't have any tea laying around on top of it.
All right, folks, he's exaggerating. Just because
No, I thought about taking a
rear leaf spring was broken and the axle was dog tracking and the truck was kind of
You wouldn't
lopsided.
keep your head in the window,
That does not mean you needed
slamming
to,
on your brakes
to-
to scream at people you knew 20 years ago, or however many.
I don't even remember doing that with you.
Woo. I didn't forget. It's permanently etched.
Do you need to see a counselor to
If
deal
I
with
gotta
this
ride with
trauma?
you long
to
term
deal with
again.
this trauma?
Do they got Shelby Whitney driving PTSD or something?
They do give you a discount. I can recommend a couple of shrinks that do give you a discount for having to deal with me.
Is that because I'm on to off you?
I don't know. That does.
Well,
happen.
I would take away their job security though.
It would. They stay in business quite well.
Okay.
They're writing books. It's actually I had a psychologist just tell me recently that she said if your life consisted of a textbook, it'd actually be a series.
Mm-hmm. Probably 100-part series.
I was kind of hurt by that.
I think it's about property.
So, did you have any stories that don't include me in the telling
Or
of them?
machetes?
Or machetes? I could tell a whole bunch of stories about machetes.
Yeah.
I made my own machete one time. Out of a leaf spring of a truck. It was like this butchering thing out of like this movie. This big old thing. You can cut down trees with them. Anyway, so did
Is
you
that
ever...
before or after you bought a hockey mask? Just saying. So we've had a lot of time pass here.
We have.
This is not pre-recorded. It's actually a day late. Sorry about that. Kind of a holiday week. We've had a lot going on. I had a lot of random things come up out of the blue. It wasn't my fault this week, so it took a lot of my time away. You know, when the bulldozer operator cleaning up your neighbor's property clips all your telephone poles, and you know, your wires are across your driveway. And then they go down and pee in your driveway with the Wi-Fi cameras to your wife's phone.
Yeah,
on.
that's always a good time.
Yeah.
It's always a good day. I took a power line pole down one time.
Yeah,
Took lines down a mile away.
yeah, I knew that. I tell you what I did one time. You know, my excavator it's pleasantly large.
Yes, like
plump.
you and I.
It's plump. I fit
Yes.
in it well.
Plus size.
She's a 43 tonner.
Yes.
And I backed into an oak tree one day with it.
And you didn't even know it.
Nope. Until I felt the ground shake from the tree crashing into the ground. Yep. I was out of my element.
You were out of your element.
Yep. I had gotten stung by a hornet in the ear, and it really hurt.
Okay. That was a far cry from your heart. You know, for
Have
a
you ever
big
been
guy,
stung in the ear?
For a big guy,
It hurts.
you get really anxious around like little things, like my little dog, little machete.
Hey! You just took quick draw's toe off.
Quick draw. No, his toe is already missing.
Okay. Either way, you about chopped off his finger.
No.
So I knocked the tree over.
You knocked the tree over.
That was like 5 years ago or 6.
Okay.
I wasn't as a skilled operator on such a finely behemoth of a machine. Now it's like I can park it anywhere.
Gotcha.
You just pick the tree up and move it.
Oh man.
I got in a fight one day with the tree with it.
Yeah.
Up by my pond. I got in a fight.
Okay.
See, this locust tree and me had a love-hate relationship.
Okay.
But I thought, Lord Jesus, I need some direction here. No, I didn't hear nothing. So I said, self, that thing's coming down.
Okay. Did it come down?
Yep. You know how hard a tree's got to hit the ground to shake 43 tons?
That was a big locust tree.
I measured it when it was all done and said 143 foot tall.
Wow. That's a big locust
And it
tree,
was
folks.
big and round.
That's a big locust tree.
But man, that locust tree, it dropped them stuff everywhere. And then there would be 1,000 more locust trees. And then another 1,000. And then 2,000, like these stupid things, these cockabird things. The Velcro was made out of, their design was thought of.
Burdocks.
Burdocks.
It's not
Cockabirds.
Murdoch. It's not Murdoch like the TV show. It's Burdocks.
No, it's Murdochs.
No.
Like murder. I'm Steve Woodruff. I'm a hard rock miner. Did some hard rock mining this week. Realized how fragile our bodies can be.
Yep. Yep. I'm Shelby Whitney. I'm a Cowboy Church
Put the
preacher.
machete up.
I also cut out weeds out of the pastures with my machete
I'm cutting you off.
and
I'm turning it off.
terrify hard rock with it.